Rick Rescorla wasn't a stranger to disaster. As a young officer in the Vietnam War, he learned a harsh lesson. Survival isn't about luck, it's about preparation. That lesson would define his entire life. Years later, Rick found himself as the head of security for the investment bank Morgan Stanley, with offices high up in the World Trade Center. The 1993 bombing of the building shook him to his core. While most people eventually moved on, Rick couldn't. He saw it as a dress rehearsal, a terrifying preview of what was to come. He knew he had to act. Against significant resistance and endless complaints, Rick started enforcing strict, mandatory evacuation drills. Employees grumbled about the constant interruptions. His bosses thought he was being paranoid. Some even made fun of him, calling him Chicken Little for always predicting the sky was falling. But Rick was relentless. Month after month, he drilled thousands of employees, teaching them exactly how to get out. He timed them with a stopwatch, showed them which stairwells to use, and taught them how to stay calm when chaos erupted. He learned people's names, identified those who would need extra help, and planned for every worst-case scenario. He was preparing for a catastrophe he prayed would never happen. Then came the morning of September 11, 2001, when the first plane hit the North Tower. A wave of confusion swept through Rick's building, the South Tower. The official announcement came over the PA system, "Stay at your desks." The voice was calm, official, and reassuring. It was also deadly wrong, and Rick Rescorla knew it instantly. Ignoring the official orders, Rick grabbed his bullhorn, and his voice cut through the uncertainty. "This is not a drill," he boomed. "Evacuate now." He began herding thousands of Morgan Stanley employees towards the stairwells he had made them practice in countless times before. As smoke began to fill the air and fear started to take hold, Rick did something extraordinary. He started to sing. With his bullhorn, he belted out old military songs and Cornish folk tunes from his childhood. His steady, powerful voice echoed through the concrete stairwells, a surprising anchor in the midst of terror. It was impossible to panic when your head of security was singing. He moved methodically from floor to floor, personally escorting the elderly, helping the injured, and calming the frightened. He refused to let anyone rush blindly into danger, and he refused to leave anyone behind. Because of Rick's drills and his leadership that day, over 2,700 Morgan Stanley employees made it safely out of the building. Most people would have joined the stream of survivors and never looked back. But Rick wasn't most people. Once he saw that the last groups of his people were nearly clear of the tower, he made a final, fateful decision. He turned around and went back up into the smoke-filled building, determined to make one last sweep for anyone who might be stranded. He was last seen on the 10th floor, heading up, still searching. Moments later, the South Tower collapsed. Because one man trusted his gut and had the courage to defy a fatal order, nearly every single Morgan Stanley employee survived. The company lost only 13 people that day, a miraculously low number compared to the devastation in the rest of the tower. Rick Rescorla didn't stop a plane or make the front-page headlines that morning. But his foresight, his relentless preparation, and his incredible bravery saved thousands of lives. He was a true hero, and his story is a powerful reminder that one person's courage can change the world. Thanks for watching. If this story moved you, please consider sharing it so others can learn about Rick's incredible legacy.